Okay, so when we met, well, first and foremost, what I liked about you right away was your appearance, the way you carry yourself, the way you articulate yourself, and the way that you dress.
Thank you.
And one of the first lessons that I try to teach some of my students and members is the power of first impressions. And that comes down to personal hygiene, having a routine in the morning and the evening to take care of your appearance, and then actually investing in your wardrobe. So can you, and this is really for the male listeners particularly, can you talk about what it's like to meet a man who really puts a lot into his appearance and carries himself a certain way versus a man who doesn't?
Yeah, that's a very good question actually. And appearance, it's not everything, but it's very important. And the first impression is what, when we decide if we're gonna connect, talk or not.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, appearance is important. Then, so.
Like, would you say
Mm-hmm.
a man is almost gonna have no shot, like if he approached you at a lounge or somewhere in public, if he doesn't look a certain way or carry himself a certain way, so he can have a very small chance of.
To be honest, I give him a chance, even
Okay.
if he doesn't look perfectly from the box. But there are some, level of hygiene that, of course, it should be maintained and are important. If he's dressed well, he has more chances, of course. If his posture is, straight and good, that means he's confident, and that's important also. And if he's not dressed very well, I also give him a chance to see how he talk. But probably just 30 seconds, 1 minute. If his presentation, it's not like, if he's not looking good, dress well, nice. Of course, it's very important.
Well, what do you think about guys who have a super casual, like jeans, t-shirt, hat, tennis shoes kind of look versus men who are a little bit more business casual, business formal? What do you think about the two?
Of course, business, it's more attractive. It's more, I don't know, I would say, it's just, make me more interested to hear what he has to say because he's already good looking.
Right.
And we react to that, men and women also. But if he's like just a normal shirt, not something crazy, and a normal hat and some jeans, and he just looks confident and
And he's still
carry himself nicely. Yeah, I will talk to him friendly. But of course, dressing good, that's elevating the
Exactly.
the chances to talk to a woman.
One thing I tell guys is if you like women who are well done, nice hair, nice makeup, okay, nails, heels, dress. I've literally seen guys try to go to a lounge with a beautiful looking woman and get rejected at the door because he had on a hat or tennis shoes or something.
Yeah, many times.
Exactly. So you have to think about the kind of the caliber of woman that you want and where are y'all going to go together,
Exactly.
right? Unless y'all are going to the movie theaters all the time or something like that.
Right. And I think also guys, first they have to check up themselves, see how you look, not extreme, but just a little bit, so that look for a woman that it's maybe good for you, just something. You're not gonna go to a woman if you're not dressed well, and if you're not gonna go, like you say, to a woman that she's almost perfect, because the chances probably not gonna be too high.
Yeah, I dress like what I want to attract.
Exactly, that's perfect. Same.
So you mentioned, now a guy might have a chance if the conversation's good. Now, a lot of men really don't know how to talk to women. First and foremost, they don't know how to make a proper introduction. What I give guys a simple, I don't give people lines, but a simple way of introducing yourself. Excuse me, thought you were dressed really nice, and I just had to give you that compliment.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to start the conversation. Just give to the woman a compliment.
Mhm.
It's to make her feel good about herself, and she's gonna open more to talk to you.
Exactly. And then from there, just get a feel, is she available to talk right now? Is she busy? Is she with someone?
Right, right.
And then what I tell, and I think if you ask me like, what's the biggest disconnect that men and women have in dating today? It's that I think men don't understand women, but also a lot of women don't understand men.
That's very correct. Yeah.
And you tell me, I really want your perspective on this. A lot of guys are really bought into this idea that their status, their money, their jewelry, their cars, their penthouse is what keeps a woman in a relationship with you. You might get a woman's attention that way at first, but I'm a firm believer that what keeps a woman invested in a man and feeling close to a man is connection. I think it's mental, emotional, and spiritual connection. Can you give your perspective on this?
Sure. I think the man that
And can you kind of, if you have experience with it, a man who's ever tried to lead with materialistic things that you didn't have a connection with as well, to give them like kind of a contrast?
Right, right. I think there are women's for any kind of man. So let's just put it that way first. But speaking about connection, like you mentioned, having jewelry, just being flashy, showing up, that's not the way that you're gonna find a real woman. A woman that she's gonna stay with you, that she's gonna be there for you when you maybe not have all those things. And yeah, maybe that helped for some women, not for all. And I don't want to say this word, I don't like it, but it's just superficial.
Right.
So those things, the material things that may matter at the beginning, but once they stay together, they move, or going deep, like few months, just to say, the problem starts, because that cannot cover everything if it's no connection, if it's no similar habits, or it's not gonna last for sure. So definitely that's not the right way. Of course, connection is more important, having similar things to do, having future plans, maybe building a family, like things alike that they can bond together. That's very important.
When I teach guys, when it comes to like how to relate with and talk to a woman, is you want to get to know her as deeply as possible, understanding her past, her present, and her future, and understanding her mentally and emotionally and spiritually. And you do that by asking questions, being an active listener, being observant,
Right.
and paying intense attention to not only what she says, but her moods, the tone of her voice, her facial expressions, her body language. So can you talk about what it's like to have that kind of connection with a man who really understands and knows you and can read you, versus a man who can't see you, is almost clueless, doesn't understand your moods, or what you may be thinking. He can't predict anything.
Right.
He's
right.
constantly doing the wrong thing. He doesn't know how to satisfy you.
Right.
And he doesn't know how to avoid dissatisfying you because he doesn't know you.
Right.
So can you talk a little bit about that, as well as dating a guy who's trying to lead again materially?
Yeah, so I believe this material leading just doesn't last, because usually this type of guys, they think that's everything, and it's not, of course, and it just doesn't last because there is no connection. But let's just step to the guys that they are trying. They don't know exactly how, but they are trying in a good way, so they have the good intention. So they are just asking questions. They try to get to know you. They try to make an effort. And that's, I think it's the magic word, that it's work for women, we just like to see that the guy he's putting an effort, he's making an effort. Maybe he doesn't know how, maybe he's making some mistakes, or maybe, he's asking, or sometimes I just try to make it easier. So I tell, I like this, or so I'm trying, to just give some indications. But if a guy doesn't know, is his disconnect, if he's just asking question, like one time a guy came to me and asked me where you did your eyebrows. Like what kind of question is this from a guy? I look at him and say, do you want to have same, or do you want me to teach you my makeup skills? I think this is just not manly. It was funny, but that I know with me and this guy, we're not gonna have nothing to talk, no connection. So I guess these people, they should maybe just take some guidance, some, coaching, some.
Right. Like learn women a little bit better.
Exactly.
I think in that scenario, I hear this all the time in my mind whenever I give advice, because I'm very direct. If a woman, obviously I'm approaching you because you're attractive or beautiful. So I'm gonna basically lead with that and let you know that, because I don't want to waste your time.
Oh.
So a lot of guys, they think the best way to go about getting a date is by starting off indirect. Oh, where'd you get your shoes from? Like as if I'm shop there, right? You probably get that sometimes, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not interesting.
So I would love for them to hear it from you, so all the haters can hear it from a woman. Do you respect a man who comes at you boldly, directly, and straightforward, and just let you know why he's trying to talk to you, so that you can give him either I'm okay, or maybe you can see if it goes somewhere?
So of course I like a man who is confident, who come to me, talk to me, who is not too pushy, not asking like where did I get my shoes, or like where did I have my hair done, or things like I also like respectfully, just to be. Maybe I don't like when they ask me second question, what do I do for work? It's just like too straightforward, like it's just too personal. You don't even know my name or where I'm from. Usually second question is where I'm from. Yeah, of course we appreciate confidence, we appreciate the right questions, and just to feel like he want to get to know me, and in a respectful way.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I want to talk about respectful a little bit. So if a man, let's say he says, excuse me, I just want to give you a compliment. I just had to let you know, like, your body is incredible. I don't want to come off too forward, but I just had to say you are exceptionally attractive. And I wanted to make sure that you knew that. Well, how would you feel about something like that? Is that, or are we getting too close to not being respectful?
I think, in my opinion, I think that's way too much.
Yeah.
Because you don't even know me. I will appreciate if you say something, I like your posture, or if you want to say something about my physical body, right? It's just a different, it's like anyone say, oh, you are beautiful, to any woman.
It's generic.
Exactly. It's just, I feel like you didn't put any effort on.
I think the best compliments are ones where it shows that he's actually paying attention to nuances.
Exactly.
Like perhaps a bracelet, the way you walk, like you said, your posture, the way that you articulate yourself, for example.
Yeah, and something that it's real.
Right.
You're not gonna say, "Oh, I love your shoes," and me knowing these shoes are not really amazing, because that's
Yeah, something that he couldn't just make up.
Exactly.
When it comes to dating, what kind of dates do you actually enjoy going on? Some people do like coffee dates, some people do restaurants. What's enjoyable for you whenever you're getting to know someone that you may be interested in?
It's depend how I met this person. So if I met someone, because now people do a lot of online dating. Sorry. So if I met him somewhere outside and I already know how I, connect with him, if I connect with him, of course, I will probably prefer not to go to dinner first because I think dinner it's a little bit too much for me
And I
personally.
think eating is not like particularly attractive.
And I'm not
Yeah.
expecting him to take me to a nice restaurant,
Right.
very, like fast or early. So maybe just something that we both enjoy. I enjoy golf. If he enjoy golf, I would like, because I also have to get the chance to spend some time with him so we can talk, and it's not a bar, we don't have to drink, it's something outside, or maybe a hike where are much more people around, or maybe just a coffee, or I don't know, something that it's interesting for both of us, because in my case, and I know many girls that think alike, sometimes dinner like this very fancy dinner are a little bit pressure on us too because they are expensive, and sometimes I'm thinking, oh, what do I have to do, or
Right.
if he's expecting something
Right.
in return, and I would like to take it step by step slowly.
I agree with that. Yeah, I don't think either person should invest up front before you know the person.
Exactly.
Because it's disingenuous.
Exactly.
Yeah. And if he's doing that for you and he doesn't know you, he's not selective, he's doing that for everybody. So it doesn't
Yeah.
even make you special.
Yeah.
I don't think it's charming. I think guys think it's charming, but I think it's because they're trying to get something, like you said, and they think that's like a transactional kind of, way of going about it.
From a woman perspective, maybe it's the easiest for them. It's just, let's just go dinner or lunch. That's, I think, the most common question that I ever heard in my life. So if I have to pick from dinner or lunch, I definitely go to lunch.
Yeah.
I will go to coffee first. So if it's somewhere, for example, that I never met, so it's from online or Facebook, or we live in 2025, so that's a possibility. I will definitely go for coffee, maybe Starbucks or somewhere where there are many people, and to see if we vibe, if we like each other.
Okay. So, whenever I work with students, I work with them for anywhere from 3 months to a year. And here's what happens a lot of times. They get interested in the coaching because I like to talk about dating and relationships, right? And they all want pretty women, etc. They want a better dating life. Now, I'll kind of reel them in or bait them in that way. But then when we get in the program, we start talking about confidence, self-esteem, self-image to make you more attractive. And what happens is we go down this journey where you get this guy who thinks he's about to get into like a very superficial program to hook up with a bunch of women. And then we end up actually going down a path of talking about their early childhood, the relationship these men had with their mother and father.
Right. That's where it starts.
100% of the time. Like I'm talking with men up to 56 years old about how they felt, about the lack of attention they got from their mom.
Definitely.
And about the lack of affection they got from their father. Like stuff like that. And then we go from there, obviously traumas, exploring that path, and understanding how their psychology and neurology has developed from these very early experiences that were intensely emotionally sensitive when they were vulnerable as children.
Yeah.
But they've carried these things, and some of these things, because most of my clients are very successful, some of these things drove them to be millionaires. Some of these things are why they have all the success they have. And these are really good guys, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like, some of these things are exactly why they've been divorced twice, or women don't like them, or they've never had a beautiful relationship with a woman, or they've really connected deeply with a woman. I think some of these things are also why they've never had great sex with a woman, because I think it's a lot more spiritual and emotional than people understand, like the acts of sex. Anyway, we go down a process of, eventually I have these grown men doing gratitude journals, affirmations in the mirror, visualizations, reading books about love, masculine energy, feminine energy, meditating, and doing self-reflection. I mean, I've had really good conversations with some very successful, very confident, very masculine grown men, and they'll sometimes cry on the phone talking about some trauma they had to release that and process it. So anyway, and the last thing I want to say, you know, I say this to a lot of people, like, especially with men, a lot of men have been lied to by thinking that they're going to find happiness and fulfillment from material success. And like, that's how they're going to get the wife and the beautiful family and, you know, internal contentment. And it's just a lie. Like, you can't buy happiness, as cliche as that sounds. So what I find really interesting about you, what I think people would probably find interesting, is that while you're incredibly beautiful on the outside, as we were talking and getting to know each other, and I was understanding how deep you were, I gotta be like honest, I was like really surprised, like, you know. And I was like, wow, this woman's intelligent. She's traveled. She's well read. I'm not trying to make you blush. She's well read. She dresses to the nines. She matches. The color scheme is on point. You know, she's in great shape. She eats healthy. You do yoga. And then even like we meditated before we started recording. And I was like, she's either going to say yes or no to this, right? You know what I mean? Like most people are either going to say.
That's amazing. It just cleared your mind. It just, like let go everything. So that's the most amazing thing.
It was actually enjoyable watching you meditate because I could tell that you were like really into it. And you were like, at one point, you were like feeling your heart chakra. Well, I meditate with my eyes open. So
really?
It was like you can tell, you can feel when someone is actually experiencing it, the presence of it, right? Anyway, they hear me talk all the time, but I would love for you to go into a little bit about your journey and what you value about self-development and these different emotional, the journey of emotional healing and growth and spiritual growth.
Yeah, so I think everything starts when the mother is pregnant. So when the the baby is unborn, because the baby feels everything that the mother experienced.
Every emotion.
Yeah, through the pregnancy. So that's something that we can really control because, the mother, she's living a life, so she's doing her best while she's pregnant. And many pregnant women, they don't know if, I'm not going to even say that. I'm not going to go on that chapter now. But we have memories and we probably don't remember, but everything is in there. So since we come in this world, we experience things, right? It's forming us, it's shaping us in who we are today. So, of course, the relationship with the mother and father are the most important. Guys, usually it says that the guy is looking for a woman that looks like the mother, and woman also same like the father. So it is some truth in that because people don't understand, because that was the first model of masculinity and femininity, right? So in order for us to be able to be happy with the person, we have to learn to be happy with ourselves, by ourselves, and not to be needy, because our happiness, it's not up to someone, to a person, or to a situation, or to some amount of money. Happiness should be something that you experience every day. It doesn't matter how the weather is, doesn't matter how much money you have or not have, because those are waves, money come and go. We have so many examples from people who was millionaires and then they was bankrupt and then they make it again. So that should be something that define your happiness, or a man or a female. Once I start to be happy, and I went through my journey because I was just trying to understand how I can feel the joy, how I can just feel happy, enjoying every experience, because I start to call them experience and not to call like, oh, something good happened to me or something bad. So then I eliminate these words from my vocabulary. Bad, horrible, I don't say these words because these words has a very low vibration that you bring it, you leave it once you say it, right? You create it as you are talking. So then I eliminate this word and I say, okay, I only have a life. I'm just gonna enjoy everything that it comes to me, every person, even if I like it or not. So then I create my own cocoon of happiness. And once I get there, I start to enjoy every encounter with any person, and my relationship become better. And sometimes I don't have a relationship, and I'm fine with that because I'm enjoying the time with myself, by myself, and that's amazing. Some people try to jump from a relationship to another, and then they don't even choose a person. They just take the first available one, and that's not a relationship. That's a lie that they create for themselves. It's I don't like to say it, it's toxic, it's unhealthy, I'm gonna stop here. So then they ask why I'm not happy, they don't want to be alone, it's just so many things to say. I can continue for hours, but I'm trying to point the most important. So I think people, when you have like 1, 2, 3 relationship that didn't work, and it's like in the last, let's just say you have last relationship, you are not happy, you don't remember anything positive, then maybe just stop and scan yourself, and just maybe you have to change something on yourself in order to become better and to elevate yourself to have better relationships. So sometimes it's not it's never about the other person, because people try not to take responsibility, accountability. They say, oh, she's bad, she did that. But just stop and ask, what did I did? Did I did everything perfect? Am I imperfect? Can I fix something? Or because if you elevate yourself, it's like self-love. You just give something amazing to yourself, and then the magic is happening. Because you reflect that. If it's a man that he's sad, he's depressed, he's always breathing like this, nobody wanna be around because the energy is low. Then do something, go to the gym, go to some yoga, do some meditation, to something that it brings you peace. And then when you radiate that peace and happiness, people just gravitate towards you. And that's the right timing to start to look for a relationship.
I love a lot of what you said. One thing you said in specific was people who, when they look at their last relationship, can't remember anything positive.
It's just so sad.
I feel like it's a projection of how they experience their entire reality. I tell people, men and women, every bad relationship is your fault ultimately, because
Exactly.
one, let's say the person was bad or mistreated you or was toxic. You accepted it.
Exactly.
You could have
have
left the
50%.
relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah. and then, but most often, you've attracted something similar to what you are. So you're in an experience that you're manifesting, right? And probably contributing to.
You reflect that.
So at some point you have to look in the mirror and say, I need to elevate, I need to grow, and then I need to welcome and embrace new experiences in my life that are at the vibration of frequency that I want to be at.
Exactly.
And it's a choice.
It's a choice, definitely. Happiness is a choice. Being happy, I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm just continuing your idea.
No.
So it's a choice because, like you say, people just reflect what they have inside, and they choose that person that at the beginning looks perfect and in the end looks horrible. Yeah.
When you do your coaching with women and your spiritual work with women, I'm really curious, what are some of the common challenges from your work that you've seen a lot of women have?
Yeah, one, of course, I think one of the most challenging is the dating. and also overcoming the trauma, because women looks like they realize a little bit more than men that they have something inside to fix and to let go. So they want to just, let it go, get rid of all that heaviness, that the memory, the bad relationship, sometimes, family issues, and also sometimes they just want to attract better man or not attract the same type of man. So that's a question that I always ask. How was your last free relationship? It's the same pattern, or did you change the pattern? Because when you change the pattern, you know that you level up, you step up. If you experience the same thing,
You're not changing.
exactly, that's something not wrong, but it's something that you have to change in your side, because you are attracting the same type of man, and you are welcome him in your, because it's like at the coffee shop, at the bar, there are like 10 men. You're gonna talk to the one that you like, right, as a woman, so that you kind of pick him from the others. So then if he's not good, then it's your choice. That man was your choice, that you choose to spend 5 months, 5 years, have a children or not. And in the end, when I'm done with the relationship, I train my mind to forget all the part that was not beautiful, so I can just keep what was good. So just for myself.
Your own memories.
Exactly. It's like, I don't want to remember the bad things. I want to keep only the good things, because I live with those memories every day.
I feel like people don't know how to just let stuff go.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Interesting. Okay, so I have 2 more really interesting questions, at least for me.
Please.
One would be, and tell me if the way that I'm phrasing this makes sense. When you talk with women, what do you feel like a lot of women are, I'll use the word like longing for, or feel like they never get from a man in a relationship? So it almost feel like if I asked you, like, what would be a lot of women's ideal man, just in the sense of, sure, maybe they can find a man who has a stable income and whatever, does certain basic things, but is it like maybe an emotional thing? Is it a spiritual thing? What do you see?
Yeah, of course, stability and income is important, and not for women, also for men. I was asked many times, like I said before, like the second question, what do you do for work? I was asked about my finances. So I think it's, important on the both side. So usually women, they're not looking for some like very high profile or like the income, because when a guy is very wealthy, it's come with a lot of compromises there, a lot of responsibility, not too much time, it's a package, it's not just the income. So we know that. So usually today woman, she wants someone close to, her lifestyle. So we use that word lifestyle, because lifestyle, it's having a similar job, having maybe weekends off. For example, I have to work on Sundays because I do real estate. So I had complained from my ex-partner that I don't have enough time. So that's a thing, having a similar job. Of course, attention, which at the beginning it's more, and then it starts to, unfortunately, decrease with
He gets complacent.
stepping into the relationship. And women feel that. And, you cannot ask someone, why you don't give me attention like at the beginning? But they feel it and they become sad inside. And they try to get their attention by, dressing nice, doing hair, different nails, and they don't see it. So it's a little bit sad that. And one more thing, men just lose interest to do things. You know, they just want to stay home after work and just watch TV and watch sports. And you know, it's important, and that's why it's important from the beginning to kind of get to know the person and ask yourself, do I see myself in 6 months? I think the first 6 months are the most important. After 6 months with this person, can I compromise these things? You know, because if you jump in a relation that you like a sport and he likes something else, it's not gonna last. So usually these two things, the lack of attention and just, you know, yeah, sometimes also it's like when people have kids, you know, I'm talking about, you know, like 30 plus, 40, and the kids doesn't like the person. That's also a problem these days, and I see it more and more, and usually that's the breaking, yeah, moment. So yeah, there are much more, but I think these are, yeah, the most common.
Interesting. So, a topic that I get asked all the time by men and women is about boundaries. How to actually have healthy boundaries in a relationship. And coming from men, their thing is like, I was dating or married to this woman, and she kind of ran all over me. He didn't have a backbone in the relationship. He didn't know how to make his expectations known. And I think some men don't know how to, like, so they'll ask me, like, how do you put a woman in check? Like how do you check a woman? And I'm like, I don't really use that language. Because I feel like if you have to check a person, you've gone horribly wrong. Like it's already reached an impasse where it's gonna escalate. What I tell men, I give them 2 journals.
Okay.
My ideal self as a man. And you write down my beliefs, values, character, personality, behaviors. My ideal woman, same thing. Okay. When you first meet a person, I really try to, and you'd be amazed how many people haven't even like really thought about this stuff. And I say when you're first meeting a person, you need to clearly, you know, in y'all's conversations, like when you're first meeting them, literally first date, you know, talk about who you are as a man, you know, how you see the world, what you strive for your character to be and your personality, etc. And, you know, explain what you would like, what you feel like you'd be compatible with in a partner. Now you have the expectations understood, right? So if I know you feel a certain way about excessive drinking, and then I find myself getting drunk every weekend, and then you become dissatisfied, we've already had that conversation. All you have to do at this point is let me know. And either I'm going to respect your expectations and compromise, and make a change, or I'm basically not going to, at which point all you can really do is leave. Or you're going to build up resentment for this thing that you don't agree with, right? So I tell the guys, if the woman, you know, whatever behavior you expect from a woman, just communicate it up front. And you can't control a woman. That's why I don't like that word check. Because it insinuates you're going to like punish her to change her behavior. All you can say is what you're willing to accept and what you're attracted to, right? And what you admire in your woman. And I'm a much more firm believer in positive reinforcement over negative reinforcement. Like if I was disappointed in my woman, I would just tell her, I was like, wow, I'm just surprised. Like I've always viewed you as someone who's so far above this, I'm just surprised.
Motivating her.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And maybe she won't. And then it's my choice. Do I stay in the relationship? But what's your perspective on boundaries?
So I think these days, in my opinion, people lack communication. They are kind of scared to communicate their feelings, their boundaries, their wish, things that they can compromise, things that they will never compromise or accept it, because looks like relationship, it's become difficult these days, so they just want to be liked. So once someone likes them, they just not gonna show the other I don't want to say face, or but they're not gonna communicate their expectation, their wish, their plans, their future view. So they just stop there when they feel accepted,
Right.
and they feel liked, and then they are expecting someone to read their mind and do the things. And I believe that it's a little bit sad, because once you find a person that she likes you, you like her, just like you said, just try a nice communication, a soft way. We are women, we are soft. We like, we don't like that harsh energy, that hard, or to point what I don't do good, like things. Just try to, like you say, I was not expecting, or just there are so many ways, to say it nicely. And there is a things that I encourage my clients to do, and it seems like it's working. I always say, if you date someone from a website, from a dating app, because this is very common these days, so I have to include that, because there are two types: people that you already met and people that you never met. So even if you met someone, for the second time, because first time you don't have time, or it's not going to be a very deep conversation or communication. So just ask him and her to make a list with 5 things or just 3 things. I usually say 5, but if you are not very comfortable, just say 3 things that you will love from your partner, expect them, her or him, to do it. 5 things that you can compromise, and 5 things that you will never ever get over. And that helps a lot, because usually people put the most important things, and that's what I need to know. It's just like what's matter actually. And if you see there are some things that you will never be okay with, it's already there on the list, and you can talk, you can ask questions, you can communicate. Starting from there, you already have everything, instead of just being like take all that attention, the compliments, and never say and express who you are. How you can set boundaries if you don't show or express who you are, if you don't tell me what you are expecting from me as a person, as a woman. So I think the communication is very important. And also, if people, I'm usually say, and I encourage women to say, I sleep at 10 o'clock. I put myself, because this should be normal, but never. Or when I'm driving, I don't pick up the phone, or I'm not checking the text message, or things like that. So that just make it so easy for the man to understand you.
Mm-hmm.
And things like, okay, I'm not going to the sauna or to the pool, or I can join you at the pool in my case, but I'm not going in the water, or things like that. And or I can go to the beach, but I'm not gonna sit in the sun, or so he kind of have an image about how to set up dates or things, or do things for you or with you, or it's just easier. And again, that's communication. And or you just say, these days of the week I'm fasting, or these days I'm just going to the gym, or just let him, you can help him to get to know you. And also you can just softly just set your just tell him your boundaries, but it doesn't sound like a boundary. It just sounds nicely, and you're gonna be surprised how men react at that. It's just like very positive, like super, super good. It's also the intonation of the voice, because the men, they are sensitive to the femininity. It's not, some men, they have a type, but the type is just you to be a soft woman. I think that's, what most of the men look for. So once you are just acting as a, a soft woman, explain to him things. A man listen differently when your voice is soft than when your voice is, high and dense, and you already set the conversation differently. It's with calm. He listen. He just, process the information. If the tone is high, you say, you know what, I don't like that. Because some women think that's control power. That's not. He's gonna stay for he's gonna react, and that's gonna be a conflict there.
It's too much masculine energy.
Yeah, and a man sometimes they say, oh, I like strong, independent woman. They don't really know what is that mean. That's looks like another man.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's not the right, but yeah.
Do we have a little more time?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I want to go down that path. So we had an interesting little kind of funny conversation on the topic of femininity. What does that mean to you, one? And how can women go about nurturing and developing their own feminine energy? Because yours really emanates off of you, right? So, and you kind of told me some of your routine, but then you also said, growing up where you're from, it's a part of the culture. And then we made some comparisons between, European women and American women. We have our thoughts there. But can you talk about that?
Sure. I think first of all, women around the world, they're women. So we have that feminine energy inside of us. And yes, I'm from Europe. I live in Japan for a while. In Japan, probably you guys know women are very submissive, but at least they try to be that way because it's part of the culture. So of course, I have some influence in my behavior from Japan also. I really like that part too. And we don't serve the man, but it's just nice to look that way, but we want to empower him, support him, because when a man feels support, he's going to just perform better in anything. So how to nurture your femininity? Because I think the women is just the society kind of force them, to be a little bit stronger, to work harder, to stand for, for themselves. Sometimes to raise the kids, single mothers, which is very hard. So I guess they have no choice to be like that. Some women are, doing brain surgery, astronaut, things that they have to be hard. They cannot be soft. They have to put a lot of power and energy in that, at work. But when you come home at your man, you can just leave all that behind. And it's just nice to be feminine. It's like our nature. So we have to remind ourselves that. So that's helping a lot in our relationship. When women come back to their own femininity and rediscover themselves. And they just step back in their real power. Because that's what we really are. Okay, you can just be, different a little bit, but if you gravitate too far away from your true essence, then it's gonna be an imbalance there. So I guess, just realizing that you are a little bit too empowered, too much. Just realizing that, maybe I should be a little bit more feminine, just do my hair, be a little bit more cute, be a little bit more nice with my partner and see what's happened. Just make it as a test and see how he reacts at that. Just wear a dress, not wear always, sweatpants and, all those that pajama, well, I don't know. Just wear a dress, doesn't matter how you look like. Put, a ribbon, a flower, it's something, a ring, doesn't have to be expensive. Just, bracelet, something. And you can see a difference, the impact that you have in guys once you just dress, start with the dress, it's dress for $10. It's not the investment like a huge, just a little bit different. And yeah, and start with that, then your voice intonation, the way you do things, you can Google it if you don't know ideas, or ask someone, or ask me. And it should not be hard, because this is who we are. So that's so many ways. I mean, just, you want to make the house nicer, buy some flowers, set the table, just do something different, something that it's like, oh, now I know we are equal, so we have to do things together. But just like women did before, just set the table nice and make something, cook something for your man. When he come back, put a nice dress and say, oh, I just want today to do something different for us, and I just wear this dress for you. I know you are tired, it doesn't cost you nothing. And he's gonna start seeing you and say, oh, what's happened? He's gonna start doing nice things for you back. It's like people just expecting and complaining, oh, he's not doing nothing nice. But just check yourself in the mirror first. Does my hair look nice? Okay, not every day, but at least once a week, if we are working every day, or having kids, or life it's not easy, but just take some time for you guys, and to improve the relationship. And it should not be hard to be a woman, like just to be feminine.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't know how, you just dress like a woman. Just start with that.
Can you recommend 3 books for women's development?
Yeah, I probably don't remember the names right now, but later when you edit, you can just put it there.
Okay, cool.
So there is a book that I think that's my favorite. It's a book written from author, I think it's from Africa culture, which I find it very, very interesting. And it's actually speaking about the feminine energy, the females. I think it's just about the females. I read it like 10 years ago, so I love to read books. So that's why I don't remember all the authors and the names, because I just read and I listen to many. Yeah, I think that's the most important.
Send it to me and then I'll put it in.
Sure, and I'll give you 2 more when I get home, because I have just too many. Sorry. And I read in Romania, English, and Portuguese, so I'm sorry.
Nice subtle flex. Okay. So, can you give 3, daily exercises that a woman could put into practice and give a try for their development?
A woman as a feminine development, or just woman in general?
Oh, in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I would recommend what I do, because I think I do the best, because I choose what I think is the best. So that's what I recommend to people too. Gratitude, it's a powerful thing. Visualization, and people like this word manifestation, but that's manifestation, it's just includes some other things. So let's just start with gratitude. So every day when I before I go out of the bed, when I wake up first thing in the morning, before I open my eyes, I just breathe, and I'm just feeling that gratitude that I have the chance to enjoy a new day. I know that people think, oh, that's just not interesting. But if you ever been to India or many other countries that they don't have not even a toy, the kids doesn't have a toy, or so many, that I don't want to mention, so many people that living here and having a bed and a house, you should be grateful, and food. And let's just start from there. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to have another day, to be free to choose whatever I think is best for me, to have the air condition, anything. But the most thing the thing that I'm most grateful for, it's just having me. This is not, I hope it doesn't sound narcissistic, not at all, but it's having me being able to do all these things, to help people, to be there for family, for friends, to do my job, just to be able to have this body that is healthy. So then I just step out of the bed, I do some stretching, some yoga, and then, it's just like you can set your routine. So I think you should set your routine the way it's work best for you. But starting the day with the positive attitude, it's just change the chemicals in your brain. You become healthier, you have more energy, you interact better with people. And when you interact better with people, you create better relationship, which is lead to better business, create things, and everything become better. You become more successful, then you attract a better woman. So everything is connected.
Love it. What would you say most men don't quite understand when it comes to satisfying a woman sexually?
That's an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
You see, until now I said that's a good question. Now I changed. I said that's an interesting question. Because on sexuality, everybody is different. Yeah. So I guess I cannot really be particular about, the answer, but I can just answer in general what I know from my experience, from my clients' experience, from what I read. And I think sexual at the beginning should start with the chemistry, and not choose someone that it's just gonna have sex with you because it's easier. Because if you choose a person, it's depends what kind of sex, nah? Let's just start with that. And let's just assume it's like the partner have a good chemistry, right? So I believe when you have a good chemistry, you don't have those thoughts anymore, like what should I do? Is she satisfied? Because when you have chemistry, you feel her. You kind of feel her, and it's just flowing. Because when you open yourself energetically, spiritually, physically, because sex, it's not just physical, it's a spiritual connection. It's an energetical exchange. You guys exchange energy at some level. It's just not sex. But if you have this question, and if you just want to satisfy your partner better, or you want to be better for her or for him, that's actually awesome. So it's good. I think communication, it's also, if you just don't know, you don't have any idea, you don't know how to figure out, instead of just trying to figure out by yourself, maybe just make a little game, or some kind of, to make communication easier. If you don't want to ask her, if you feel her, she's not satisfied, because I think you kind of can tell it at the end if she's happy or not. But if you cannot tell, let's just put it that way, and you are not 100% sure if she's, satisfied, you can just, try to do more spicy things. Try to, let the imagination go. Just have a glass of wine if you drink. If you're not, it's okay. You don't have to. Or just watch a movie, and if it's like some love, sexual, like, just what about you? Just pop a question, or something creative. And when you do it once, twice in a different way, she's kind of opening, and she's gonna say it if she wants something more. Or you can just ask, what do you think about that? Or, just like in general, or just, you don't have to be too direct, because sometimes, people don't open when it's like, we are in the kitchen in the morning, say, I was thinking, what should I do to make you more happy? Or of course not that way, but just try something, like playful.
I agree with all that. I would have said foreplay. I think and it ties into the next point that I want to make, but I think most men rush their sexual activity with women. They want to
Yeah.
get straight to, you know what I mean? Yeah, I would say foreplay. So, how do you feel about, and I'm like going a little bit of a tangent here. How do you feel about promiscuity? And what I mean by that is we live in a hookup culture. So one of the main reasons that guys struggle with women, that from my experience in coaching, is one, they have porn addictions, right? That's one, or various types of that, right? Whether it's photo, video, whatever.
Right.
So that's a big thing, because then it creates this really fixated objectification of women in general in their
That's
mind.
true.
And I think it makes it hard for them to connect with a woman on any other level than just wanting her for some physical reason. And then the second thing that I tell guys is you have to, and I'll give the opposite that I think is true for some women. A lot of men end up in poor relationships or repulsing a lot of women because they covet their physical bodies so much, and they de-emphasize who the woman is as a person. It becomes like this inhumane thing, right? Like they can't make a human connection. So then, like, as soon as they meet a woman and get into any conversation, it's just, let me spend a bunch of money on her, get her a bunch of drinks, and try to get her home to, and that's not going to be a positive experience for either one of you, right? Which is why women don't want to stay with this kind of guy. So I wanted to kind of throw that out there. And then I think on the flip side, a lot of women, I tell people you deserve what you get in a relationship. If you wanted a woman because you're looking for just her body, right? Well, then don't be surprised if she happens to be a bitch or mistreats you or has no other real values or qualities to bring to a relationship. Don't be like then upset about that. And then for women, if you just wanted a dude for his money, well, then don't be mad if he turns out to be a jerk and mistreats you and cheats. You know what I mean?
I know.
So, but I think one thing I tell guys too, if you want to have better sex with women, I think the way to do it is to put more emphasis on the mental and emotional connection. Again, I know I keep saying that, but I just think it's so true.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. You were talking about with chemistry, and then that will make sex very natural. And plus, I think for a woman, they have to be comfortable enough to open up vulnerably and allow you to access them. Like if you even look at masculine and feminine energy, men have an appendage that comes out and protrudes, right? And it penetrates.
Right.
Whereas a woman is built to receive.
Receiving. Right.
Exactly. So I think a man has to have the persistence, the applied effort,
Right.
And then the sensitivity to allow a woman to open up with him in that shared space, right? Especially when it comes to romantic intimacy.
Right.
So that was a lot that I said, but what are some of your thoughts?
I think in these days, it's like I know many men, they're addicted of porn, of like sexual content in many kind of forms. So as women, we have to deal with that. And in the other side, men, like you say, it's important also for what they are looking. They are looking for a serious relationship. They're looking for sex. They're looking for marriage. They're looking for, to sometimes to spend someone to spend time with. Some guys say, I'm looking for the girl next door. I don't know what's that mean, but I saw that like mostly on the dating app. They say, I'm not looking for something serious. I'm just looking for a girl next door. Personally, I don't understand that, but that's the case. It exists, So there are all kinds of people. I think when a man meets a woman that he really like, if he's attracted to her, and like for example, he find out she have like 5 or 10 boyfriends before. I don't know what it's too much for anyone it's different. For me personal, if my partner has 20 girlfriend, I don't have any problem. I take it as experience. I rather have it that way than just 2 or 3. But I know to the men and women, the other, opposite, it works different, which I understand. But you have to come to a point of acceptance. And acceptance, I kind of say acceptance, it's like close to love. Because acceptance is you just take someone as it is and you just experience the happiness. Or you count the boyfriend, and if it's too much for you, you should stop over there. If you know as a man that something is not right, or if she had the past that you are not agreeing, you will never get over that.
Yeah.
So once you are not okay, that's why question communication are important at the beginning. And writing down things. So as a guy, if you think she's not good enough for you, or if you think her past is not good enough, you should stop over there, because you cannot change the past. And that emotion, it's gonna stay with you. If it's already a problem and it's rise, like a question, or or something that you cannot, if she's working, for example, in the night, maybe casino, I don't know. And as a man, or if she's working with guys, and you cannot accept them being around other guys and being friendly, you have to know what you can compromise. And some people never change, some people change. But if you want to take the chance, you also, like you say, you have 50% responsibility of the failure or of the success. So you never know. You just accept it, or you just, go separate way. That's my own advice. Because like you say, living with something that you are not okay, you are not agreeing, it's just gonna be toxic. It's just gonna it's like erosion inside. It's just not good for any, even if guy or even, woman, if your man is, I don't know, working in an environment, or you see things that you don't like. As a woman, I don't like if my man walk next to me and he's checking other girls. I cannot. That's something I will never ever. And usually guys say, "Oh no, it's your imagination."
How easily can you tell that?
Oh, very easily. Like women have better intuition. I mean, I can see I'm looking there and I can see his head moving.
Yeah.
It's just I cannot, because as a woman, I walk on the street and I see a guy with kids and wife, and he's checking on me, and I look at him like this. It's not acceptable for women. It's very not okay. It's hurting us. So please, guys, don't do that. I mean, I know when guys are alone, they are checking. It's normal. It's okay. But not with me. And I feel sorry for the women. They're, looking for the kids, and the guys are checking. No. So it's up to you what you can accept, what you can compromise. And or sometimes people are in the relationship and they make mistakes, and it's depend. If you think you can live with that, you can forgive and live. If you think you cannot, so that's why I will say this is case by case. I cannot really give the best recipe for this situation. It's up to people. What's good for some people, it can be bad for others. So it's just up to what you can put up to, what you can. Some people stay together because they have kids, and or some people have open marriages, which is not for me, but maybe it's work for them.
Mm-hmm.
Is that answer to your question?
100%.
Or should I say something more?
No, relationships, what I've learned, teach you a lot more about yourself than, you know what I mean? It's really about you at the end of the day.
Yes,
That's why I love what you said about looking at the positives from your relationships, because you don't want to carry baggage.
You don't want to carry it.
Learn from the other things, and then let those things go, and then remember the good experiences, because those were still moments of your life.
Exactly.
right? So you don't want that to be wasted time. And then
Exactly.
during my journey, like, you know, I've been with a lot of women, which is obvious. But what I learned, the biggest lesson for me, and you know, I teach the things that I teach from personal experience. Right? There's a reason I know these things. And what I learned from messing up certain relationships by being me, I think a lot of it, men in particular, I think a lot of men naturally do want to get a bunch of women. And there is value in the experience you gain in understanding women, right? Now, what happens is when you don't, at some level, mature to a place of understanding the difference between depth with a person and then the satisfaction and the fulfillment that comes from that versus a breadth of experiences.
Exactly.
You know, and I think, you know, it just takes a certain level of wisdom for men to hit that. And I think a lot of men who end up cheating on their wives later, it's because they never went through that kind of like phase of whatever you want to call it, you know? And I'll tell you, you know, like a lot of guys are always surprised when they get in my program because they think it's all about just getting girls, like I said, when it is really about self-development. But I tell them, like, hey, look, man, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I highly recommend that, you know, work on your self-development, do get your quote-unquote dating skills better, understand women better, but you're going to be way happier getting your quote-unquote ideal woman, the right relationship for you.
Right, right.
And going deep in that relationship than you are like just going from partner to partner, because
Definitely.
yeah, you keep having these shallow experiences with people and you're giving away parts of yourself.
And your time, your energy.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I'm at the point now where like I just like to have one woman, and I'm totally cool with like being fully single and not even dating at all. Because I know super quickly if I can connect mentally on that level. And like, I don't know, just like meeting girls who I don't have that off the bat with, it just feels like a waste of time.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'd rather go to sleep and like wake up early and kind of work on my business or something like that.
Yeah. And people don't think about the time. They think time is unlimited. It's not. Time it's the most important thing. It's the most, valuable thing because you cannot take it back. You can make more money, you can meet more people, but I think we should check if the phone is still recording because it's a long time.
Yeah, this is a long time.
So, because sometimes I'm out of
It is recording.
Okay.
But we can wrap it up. We can wrap it up.
Perfect. No, I'm just because sometimes they say memory full, so
Oh,
I don't want
know.
us
Yeah.
to.
Trust me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope,
Did you want to conclude that thought or you want to just?
Yeah, no, please. I'm okay. I'm done.
Oh, you're good? Okay, cool. I think I want to end this. Anyway, we could go on and on. Love the conversation, and I'm excited for everyone to see it. So, yeah, thank you for blessing the audience. And everyone, again, this is the beautiful Elena from all over the world.
Thank you so much for having me, guys, and I hope whatever information we share with you, it helps you, and we can just repeat this and give more out, put more information out there for people, you know, to improve their lives, to find happiness, inner peace, and everything that's good for them.
And where can people find you?
I can give my information, my email, and
just check the
my
bio.
contact.
She'll be connected there. Yes, indeed.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Well, it's work in the
Yeah, I did not intend that to be that long. But it was